Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I've just been fumigating my house due to the coronavirus, which ironically enough is the subject of this video. So now then, ladies and gents, oh, hang on a minute, let me take this gear off. Oh, I can breathe. So now then, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a smashing day, just like myself, as you can tell. And today's video is something pretty serious. I've just made light of it, but it's pretty serious. The coronavirus made the whole world go to shit, essentially. Films have been delayed indefinitely for some of them a year. In Fast and Furious's case, cinemas are shutting down. People are being told not to go to pubs and clubs, especially in the UK, which is a hard thing to do. If you're from the UK, you know. And essentially, how does the coronavirus affect this channel is a big main talking point. Because obviously I do cinema trips and movie reviews, mainly, which is what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. It's what I've enjoyed doing. Been trying to get out to see Onward, Bloodshot and Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo, but I just haven't seemed to be able to catch either of them. See what I did? Yet. Anyway, we're going to leave that. So yeah, but before we get into any of that, make sure you have your essential supplies on lockdown, such as bog rolls, anti-bac, hand gel. Make sure you're stocked up on tins of beans. They're the one thing that will last you forever. And of course, because we're British, we need a lager.
Wait a minute!
So, first thing I wanted to talk about was a lot of the films that have been postponed due to the coronavirus. A lot of big franchise films like James Bond, A Quiet Place, Mulan, now Black Widow, have been either cancelled, pushed back indefinitely, put on hold, given release dates later on in the year, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to go through a list, because I know a lot of other people have done videos on this already, but I just thought, for those of you that haven't seen the information, especially on my channel, I'd put it out there for you. So the first one, obviously, was MGM pushed No Time to Die to a new release date of November 5th, 2020. I've also seen reports that it's not a great release date because right at that time, either a week before or a week after, or it could be exactly on, Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out. So they've got competition there. Hopefully they're two different separate audiences and they both make their money. But most people that like Godzilla and monster movies also like franchise films like James Bond and the such. Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, which I don't know about many of you, but I wasn't really looking forward to. I'm not a big fan of James Corden unless he's doing Gavin and Stacey. So it's been pushed from April 3rd of this year to August 7th, so it's more in the summer, so more kids get to see it. Quiet Place Part 2, it was supposed to come out tomorrow. Well, when this video goes out, the 20th, it was supposed to go out wide. That's now been pushed to an indefinite release date. Fast and Furious 9, which we're all looking forward to. They just put their first trailer out. I did a reaction on it a couple of weeks back. I'll put the card up here. That's been pushed to next year. Literally a whole year. April 2nd, 2021. So that's a pretty big hit. And we've got films like New Mutants. This poor movie has been pushed so much. It's had that many release dates. It was originally supposed to come out in 2018, 2017, something like that, around the same time as Logan, and it just kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And now it's been pushed again. It just doesn't seem to have any luck. So we don't know, obviously, with it being a Disney movie, if they're going to put it on Disney Plus. I know it's got horror tendencies to it, so maybe not Disney Plus because that's more family friendly. But I feel so sorry for New Mutants. We don't even know if it's going to be any good, but just to be pushed back that many times, it's almost as bad as Chaos Walking now with Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. That's been pushed so many times. Then the next movie, one that I was really looking forward to at the end of the month, it's actually at the moment my biggest video on this channel, which was my Mulan trailer reaction. Mulan has been pushed indefinitely. I still think they want to put this out in cinemas, so I won't be surprised if it gets a summer release date. Same probably with New Mutants as well. It just seems to make a lot of sense. But if not, Disney Plus is there now. So in this country, and some of the next biggest like box office numbers, box office takers like the UK and things like that have now getting Disney Plus. So maybe it goes on there. I don't know. I think it deserves a worldwide release. Military Wives, which is pretty much done its run here in the UK. It's been out a couple of weeks now. Its US release date was at the end of March. It's now been pushed to May 22nd. That may end up being pushed again if we're still in coronavirus trouble. The Personal History of David Copperfield. It's already had its release here in the UK, but it's going to get its limited release around the rest of the world. That was done by Fox Searchlight. That's been pushed to an indefinite release date. One of the biggest ones, we weren't sure if it was going to move or not. It had to, essentially. Black Widow, that's been pushed to an indefinite release date. Probably going to come out around July time. Most Marvel movies come out around that time, around the Spider-Man Far From Home slot from last year, or they could put it on Disney Plus, another option. And last but not least, one I'm sure many of you are heartbroken about is Minions: The Rise of Gru, the new Minions movies. I couldn't give two shits. Apart from the first one and the second one, the rest of them all shit. So that had a July 3rd release date, and it's now been pushed. So there's a lot of films there, a lot of quality films, a lot of films that were going to prop up the film industry for the next 3 to 4 months. So it's just a really bad time at the moment to be a film fan, especially if you enjoy going to the cinema and having the cinematic experience, which is the next thing I wanted to go on to. As you may know, my last review was a Call of the Wild review. I wanted to get out to see 3 films before the coronavirus stuff hit, because I'd already seen what happened to Italy and Spain. I wanted to get out and see 3 movies before the cut-off. Thankfully, one of them may be getting an early digital release date, which is Bloodshot. I wanted to go and see that this week. But there was only one time I could go, and I was busy at the time, so I'm more than likely going to miss that now. That's going to absolutely flop at the box office. But the other 2 movies that I really wanted to see that I'm gutted I missed were Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo. I've heard nothing but good things. It's been out in the States a long time. It's done its cinematic run in the States, and now it's come here to the UK with Mark Ruffalo, and I've just totally missed it. They were supposed to have some lunchtime screenings. They all got cancelled. The Kinema, which was the place I was going to watch it, was pretty quick. As soon as the announcement went up by Boris Johnson, closed the cinema straight down. I also want to talk about Onward as well. I know it's been out a couple of weeks. I wanted to get a review out there for you guys, but it's just not materialised. It's just seemed to have gone poof. I just couldn't find any screens. I missed the first week of it because I was seeing Call of the Wild, obviously, and I had some other videos to work on. And it just didn't materialise. That now brings me on to the final thing I want to talk about, and it's how the whole coronavirus / COVID-19, or whatever you want to call it, is going to affect this channel. I did have some things planned, like I had my whole MCU. I was going to review all the MCU movies and do a ranking of them in anticipation for Black Widow. I'm still going to do it. I'm just not going to do it as quick. Still going to go through them. Most like the MCU movies, the DC movies, well, just Marvel movies in general, DC movies and Star Wars movies are my favourite types of movies in the world. And I just want to get reviews out there for you guys so you know my thoughts on it. So they're still coming. At the moment, I'm still working on my roundup of 2019. If you're wondering why it's so late, I count early 2020 movies that are going to be counted for the Oscars as 2019 movies because they released in 2019 in the US. So I had to wait until like early to mid-February to watch all the films. I managed to catch Jojo Rabbit around the 7th of February. I wanted to catch Parasite and things like that, but with them being such limited releases where I am, I just never got a chance to get there. That should be coming out within the next week or 2. I also want to get started on my podcast. I wanted to start it as soon as that went out, get the graphics done and start it like beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April, but it was mainly based around the new releases. I was going to be like your TV guide of new film releases, so I could preview them and tell you what I thought. But now nothing's coming out. It's pretty pointless. So I might find something else to fill the gap over the next couple of months, a different segment. And then when we start getting back into the summer season, like around June time, hopefully when the coronavirus is past, I'll bring that segment back in and take out my other segment or whatever, or rejig it or what have you. Anything else really, it shouldn't affect the channel. The only thing I'm going to start doing is classic reviews. So once I've done the Star Wars, your Marvels, your DCs, stuff like that, I'm just going to do classic movies. Could be from, when I say classic movies, I don't just mean like 70s, 80s, 90s. They could be like 2015 movies. I just count them as classic movies because they're in the past, if you know what I mean. With all that said, ladies and gents, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to hit the like button. That tells myself and tells YouTube that you enjoyed the content you've just watched and all the other content you watch. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell. That makes sure that your sub boxes get every single video of mine, so you get notified as soon as it goes live, and you can watch it at your own delight and in your own time. And as always, don't forget to follow me on socials. I've got Instagram, as you all know. After I go to theatres or cinemas and watch a film, I like to give my quick reactions after. Obviously, I cannot now do that because we're not allowed into the cinema and all the cinemas are shut. I may do them for the reviews that I'm going to do, but I obviously can't do them for like movies like Iron Man or the Avengers or Batman vs Superman. I've already seen these movies, so I already have my thoughts and opinions. But certain classic movies I've never seen, like I've never seen The Godfather, yeah, you're going to shout at me. Certain movies that I haven't seen, that like French Connection, like really old movies. There's certain 90s movies I haven't seen. 80s and 90s I'm pretty caught up on. So I may do a quick review going, oh yeah, I thought this was good, or that was good, or it was shit, or what have you. So yeah, I might post things that you might enjoy, some funny things, some stuff about the cinema and movies. That's all on my Instagram, along with the other stuff I talked about. I also have my Facebook page, which is This Week on the Silver Screen, in anticipation for my upcoming podcast, which I've talked about in this video. Don't know how upcoming it is at the moment, which is the first place I post any of my links from YouTube. As soon as I've posted the video for YouTube and it goes live, it goes in your sub boxes on YouTube, and then I post it straight to Facebook. Yeah, that's pretty much everything with this video. Just before I say my goodbyes, obviously, I've made light of the coronavirus and things like that in this video. I've made a couple of jokes. It is serious, but I think laughing and humour and entertainment and enjoying yourself is the best remedy to stuff. As soon as you start panicking and getting scared and things like that is when bad things happen. If you just live your life, enjoy it, you'll be happy in no time, as long as you don't have underlying conditions like myself or you're an old person. So with that said as well, just keep safe. Wash your hands for 20 seconds, do all the stuff that you've seen online. Make sure if you're practicing social distancing and stuff like that, just practice it safely. Make sure you don't go into big crowds. If you want to self-isolate, do that, but do that safely. And just because you're self-isolating doesn't mean you can't be social. You can go on your FaceTimes and things like that and catch up with family. And make sure that being in the house on your own and being isolated, you're not getting depressed or anxious or things like that. So keep the social interaction. If you're a social person, just do it on FaceTime or something like that. As well, when you cough into a tissue. Like, these are things that I shouldn't have to tell you. Most people should do these things automatically anyway. But I thought I'd put it out there. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I shall see you in the next one. Goodbye.